The meeting is now called to order. We have 6 board members present, 1 absent, David McCullough. And let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. We have a motion to approve our agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Nathan, a second by Ron to approve the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor? 6. Motion carries. Public comments?
Amanda.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Consent agenda.
Yeah, there's a few things. Thank you. I want to highlight on the consent agenda. First, in claims, you will see a trip on there that we paid for. It says Florida on there, so whenever there's something like that on there, I want to explain it. That was a trip that Rodney got a grant for that paid for many of our teachers to go to a conference for youth life. So that was all covered by a grant, and that is focused on early literacy. Second, I just wanted to point out a nice in the donation report, a nice donation from Nice to our FFA. And the third thing, in the consent agenda under personnel, recommendation to hire Bart Doan for an language arts position. That is not a new position. Monique is retiring, so Bart would be replacing Monique. So we're really excited to recommend Bart. He also will be teaching speech, and he will also be teaching speech for dual credit. So he was certified by Ivy Tech. So we're really excited to bring Bart Doan on board. He also has extensive background working with the Department of Workforce Development. So excited to recommend him. That's all I had for the consent agenda.
Okay. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Ron made the motion. Travis seconded it to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
Welcome to Bart. Thank you.
Wonderful. All those in favor? 6. Motion carries. Approval job description for the middle school secretary.
And this again is not a new position. What this is doing is taking the several years ago we had 2 positions at our middle school. The past few years we've had 3, and one of them was an IA doing some secretary work as well. So what this is doing is combining a couple positions, so the middle school will go back down to 2 secretaries, and so that. But what we wanted to do in this situation is combine some roles at the middle school. They do have really as many sporting events as the high school, and actually more ECAs. So we want to make sure that they have support to do what they need to do. So that's why we combined a couple job descriptions. We are focusing internal first, and we already have the open position. So recommend for approval.
And currently, we don't. In the past, we've had 3 individuals.
That's only in the recent past.
Right.
Correct.
And currently, we've only got 1.
No. We have 2 people. We did have 3. One of them is in this report has resigned. So we're already naturally back down to 2. That's what I meant.
Okay, so we are posting the job and applying because the job description changed?
We will still post the job. Yeah, we will focus on internal first though.
But we could go back up to 3.
No. We would only do 2.
So
Well,
the 2
somebody's job's on the line if
somebody
they don't accept this.
They would have to be reassigned, yes. And they are
That's what I was.
yes, they've already been made aware.
Okay,
So that person's
I
current.
agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, I just wanted it to be clear to
Yes. That,
the employees especially.
and I spoke individually to both employees.
Okay. With that
Yeah.
confirmation, I'll make a motion that we approve the job description for the middle school secretary.
I appreciate the questions though for clarification.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Ron, second by Zach to approve the job description for the middle school secretary. Any discussion? All those in favor? 6. Motion carries. Okay, under educate, approval of the preschool program.
Okay, so what we're asking for tonight is just the approval for the opportunity to move forward. So I want to give a little background, and Jess is here from Bainbridge. Bridget couldn't be, she's ill. I do want to thank Jess and Bridget and Rodney for all the work that they've put in to getting us to this point. There is a significant community need, so we're trying to fill it. But we also are in a position we want to make sure we're not trying to deficit spend. We're also not trying to make a profit. So what we did was first check need. We surveyed our community. We had over 110 people respond that they would possibly be interested, and that's all the level of survey that was. What we did next was all we did was ask our employees, hey, you showed some interest. If we did this, would you be interested? Which site would you be interested in? So we wanted to solidify the numbers a little bit. We thought we had enough information now to send out a second, a pre-registration pending board approval. So that starts to get you more committed. So we have had 24 individuals pre-register. So we have 2 that mark, hey, I'll go to either place. We've had 5 that indicated they would go to Roachdale, and 17 that indicated that they would go to Bainbridge. So in order to be, we consider fully full, one section full, meaning one teacher have enough kids for a class, we need anywhere from 8 to 10. And if we get to, it's actually 8.5, which I know we won't have a half. That's a break-even point for us financially.
At the, my computer, at the
135, yes, that is correct. 135 and then 125 for staff. That right now, we'd like to give them more of a discount, and we make it to that point. So then again, like Ron just said, the target price is 135 and 125 for staff, and that if we get to that 8 to 9 per teacher, that puts us at break even. So when we're asking for approval, we're asking for approval to when a section gets full or close to it for us to go ahead and fill it at either site.
So with those numbers, the 17 at Bainbridge, we're break even on 2 teachers.
We would be. So our next step then would say, hey, this is for real. You need to make a deposit. Now, some in the community have asked that deposit, once we're official after tonight, is non-refundable. And that does not go to their first week. That goes for supplies. It won't cover all our supply costs. So we just want to be transparent on that.
And then there was 3 that wanted to go anywhere.
2. Now, Travis, I want to be clear. So when we say 17 at Bainbridge, when we go to say, hey, this is official now, that number may drop. So if it drops to around 10, we would only open one section. So it's not guaranteed. We're not jumping. We don't want to jump ahead and say we have 2.
Well, I was just going by the
That's
numbers.
yeah,
but it may increase as well.
it may increase as well.
So the way we are now, what I'm getting at, you said 2 that could go anywhere and
Yep.
5 that wanted Roachdale.
Correct.
So we still need roughly 1 or 2 more to come to Roachdale.
We could, yeah. We'll talk about some additional challenges at Roachdale to be transparent. But yes, right now, if these numbers held, we would open with 2 sections at Bainbridge.
And availability of the staff, I mean, we have hard time getting
Yeah,
teachers.
great question. We actually have begun some discussions, and we have one that's actually ran a daycare before that she's already in. She already said that she would do it. There's a couple others that are considering. So just within our staff, we have a couple people that are interested in doing it.
So then what do we do for those
Yeah,
stuff?
good. So I want to be clear. We'll go through some of this about licensing when Jess and Rodney are going to share. I was just giving some background, but um, when we have a community preschool, it does not have to be a licensed teacher. So we're looking for experience. One of the things that we can look for is a childcare license, and we know some that already have that, some that have ran daycare, so they will not be certified teachers.
I guess the two that have shown interest are the IAs that we would
That is
maybe
correct.
replace later.
Actually, great question. So as we've been talking, we need to reduce in some places. One of them that's shown interest, we've had talked about her position needing to be reduced. This would move her. We could still employ her. We want to value our current employees. So if she's actually excited for this. So although her position's reduced, she would land in one of these. So it's a non-replaced position, and that would be true potentially for one other. So it's a saving on for us that allows those people to continue to work for us, but in a different capacity.
So I think it said 8 to 4. Does
Yeah.
that mean they're hourly employee?
That is
and
correct.
So they'd be open for insurance.
That is
and
correct.
all
We
that.
figured that math in the break even. So I'm going to turn it over to Jess, and then we can keep asking questions though as we go through. The only other thing that I would add real quick, sorry,
Go
Ron,
ahead.
is they get nap time. I think that's important.
That was-
So they're
I
there
was
for a
going
long
there.
time.
No.
We're going
Right here.
old school pre-K, and they get nap time. So
But this is no transportation,
correct.
or we're going to offer transportation in the morning. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
work out.
Great question. Keep going.
I don't know exactly the
Yeah.
school schedule versus the 8 to 4, but
Yeah,
are we going to allow them to send 3 to 4-year-olds on the bus?
at this time, no. Our bus capacity is at its limit for pre-K
Right.
transportation. We are required to transfer for a developmental preschool. So for community, we're not. So we are starting our hours start a little bit before school hours and stay a little bit longer. We're
Right.
trying to accommodate families in that way. We may need to make some adjustments to that.
Yep.
Thank you, Jess.
What do you have, Rodney?
No, she covered all of it. I was just going to answer your questions. So,
We've been talking about trying to expand pre-K in some way, knowing that the community demand, and it was a couple years ago, Rodney did great work with Head Start, creating that partnership, made changes to the rooms, and signed all the agreements, and they backed out. And again, we understood why, and if it wasn't going to work, it wasn't going to work. We've talked about adding peers to the developmental program. This could allow us to do that naturally with our community preschool. But to get to this point where it's not a daycare, but it does fill a need for some parents at a certain age when we know that daycares are getting more expensive as well as closing in this area. So we're trying to, we've talked a lot about opportunities and creating opportunities at North Putnam, and I'm really proud of what we've done. But I was at one of the elementary meetings and said, how can we create more opportunities at the elementaries? And sometimes it's natural at the high school or even at the middle school. This is a big deal for our elementaries. This is an opportunity to expand and then help kids be more kindergarten ready. And again, it's also an opportunity for our community as well. And I just can't thank Jess, Bridget, and Rodney for the work they've put in uh, along the way to get us to this point where we can recommend it and be ready to go.
This feels such a need for our
Yeah.
community, and so a
Will
wonderful
we be,
program.
will we be asking for volunteer help?
Yeah, that's a great question. We will, and I appreciate that question. One of the specific ways that we'll do that is as we expand work-based learning. So some of that can come from some of our high school students through Area 30, go do early childhood education. They can get that experience here as well. And so we would hope to grow that. Sometimes whether it's just guest readers or kids spending part of the day, but they're banking work-based learning hours through that. That's one opportunity that we have that we've not really leveraged as much in the past besides Area 30.
That's where I was going with it, with the
Yeah.
Area 30. I knew that they had a child
They
development.
do, yep.
Questions. How does that price compare to, say, local daycare costs? Is it?
Yeah, I want to share two things on that question. It's lower than local daycare. We've heard a lot in our community about, and it's just the rising cost of daycare. It is, however, higher than some preschools. The difference between ours right now is it's purely community. It's not we do not get any state funding at all. At some point, when you clear other hurdles, you can get some state funding. It helps. Now it comes with a lot more red tape. So it is kind of an in between to where it's significantly less than a lot of daycares, but it is a little bit more than if you look at some of the preschools attached to some schools. But again, we've done the math and all we're looking for is a break even point on finances.
Would we have to have certified teachers to be state funded?
Once you get to certain levels of state funding, yeah, that's where there's more requirements and you would have to have certified. And we're not trying to avoid that. We just want to grow into this slowly.
Absolutely.
And we're calling this a community preschool. Because the question is going to come up. You've got somebody across the Hendricks line, or across the Park line, or in the Greencastles district.
Yeah.
Are we going to just say you've got to be in our district, or
what
are we calling community?
Yeah, sure. Our priority is North Putnam students and
Obviously,
families.
right.
If we weren't full, we would consider. We've actually had a couple kids in our developmental preschool from outside of our boundaries, and that opportunity may come about. But our focus is right now. Our list is only North Putnam families. It may change, Ron. We know that, but if it does and we have room, we would. But we want to prioritize.
I'll be honest. I would prefer to say, we're not going to eliminate a North Putnam community kid.
We don't want to bump them.
For a Montgomery County kid, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That. So I would like to see us definitely make sure we
take care of our families.
Put that in writing, that the expectations there that we're going to take care of us first.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I don't know, a little bit of insidious loyalty of those Southmont kids too.
I understand. You get them used to coming to North School. Yeah.
Well, I know there is some kids up around Russellville that started out in preschool and they met friends, and so they continue
They stay, right.
Yeah,
There's an advantage to it.
Yeah.
Athletics is the same way.
We're aware of that advantage that other schools have that we don't. So we're trying to close that advantage.
We spoke about possibly expanded hours. Is that correct?
Well, right now they're slightly expanded already beyond the school day. We would have to look at other opportunities, like through Ivy League, that is before and after school care. We would need to talk to them. But this is a typical time frame. I think we're actually open longer than like Greencastle and some other preschools. But we know that transportation can be an issue. So we don't want to necessarily expand our teachers' hours longer. They're focused on that 8 to 4 window, but there is a chance we could partner with Ivy League.
I think it's a great opportunity for a community, especially if it's a break even. So I'll make a motion that we approve the preschool program.
Second.
We have a motion from Ron, a second by Travis to approve the preschool program. Any further discussion?
And
Okay.
thanks for all the hard work that you guys have
Yes.
put into getting that ready.
Yes, thank you, Jess and Bridget, Rodney, and Dustin. Thank you. All those in favor? 6. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Be very exciting for that to happen.
Yes. And we'll keep you posted as the numbers come in as real numbers. We'll let you know, hey, we've got 1 at Bainbridge or 2. Hey, we're able to add to Roachdale. So we'll keep you, make sure we keep you informed.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving to reports, Superintendent.
I have several tonight. We've had such an amazing couple weeks. Now I have to put my readers on. Just want to shout out to the middle school boys swim team. They won conference, this is the first Monon athletic conference, so big deal. Academic teams at the high school winning this year were social studies, English, and fine arts. Middle school girls basketball had swept 7th and 8th grade county. And I really loved seeing Coach Windmiller there to support her future players. We won the Ethic Bowl for the 2nd year in a row, so that was exciting. We had 2 high school students win state as part of the culinary arts competition through Area 30. We had four first place finishes at the JAG Career Development Area 7 region. Those were in public speaking, creative solution, outstanding senior, and entrepreneur team. I also want to give a shout out to our elementaries who have been working extremely hard to prepare their students for iRead, and our numbers are trending higher again this year. That would be the 3rd year in a row of an increase. So that hard work and that investment in the literacy coaches, but more importantly, the literacy system and structure that we're putting in place. Jess, Bridget, Rodney, Heather, Summer, teachers are doing an amazing job. So really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Rodney?
So I was just real excited this week that our food service, all the employees were highlighted in the IDOE newsletter around the state. So that was exciting for them. They really get involved with our kids and have a great time on holiday times. And so it's a great part.
They made me gluten-free muffins because they made homemade
yeah.
cinnamon rolls once. They offered me one, I couldn't eat it. And then like a week later, I had gluten-free muffins on my desk. So
just kind of give you a little bit of a construction update. Things are moving along. If you look around out back, we've got some things going on that are exciting. And now that we have nice weather, that's going to stay. Maybe we can get it done. So the pool will be starting the construction in the pool area over spring break. So that's being drained as we speak. And so just doing great, moving right along with construction. So thanks for your support. That's all I have.
thanks, Ryan.
Do you know how much longer for the baseball and softball?
Yeah,
areas
good question.
to get-
We'll continue to update. So the update that we got is right now they are now the grading, final grade on the field, and baseball will be ready for sod early next week. And so once that happens, it sets so that it can take root for a couple weeks, and then it's play ready. So we already know that week 1 and 2 we needed to adjust our schedule. So that's the update we have. So next week will be a key week. So I will share another update once we know, hey, this is when sod's going in and what that means after that. So it's kind of a count backwards after that.
Okay.
Right now, it looks awful because it looks like it's months away, but that's not the case.
And when you say adjusted, are you talking canceled?
No,
moved?
good question. Yeah, we'll move those. So
But
they'll still
we'll
play.
lose home games
We will.
to
Yeah.
away games.
Coaches told me that they'll make up for it on the back end of the season because they'll be still playing in June. So we'll take their word for it.
Thank you, Rodney. Kenya?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Jess, anything else today?
Well earned.
Did you say that in the correct order?
Yeah.
Priority order? Spring break should have been.
And Jess, thank you for attending with the board meetings. We appreciate it. Okay, board comments. Zach? Travis?
Just on the personnel, I would like to see us maybe we approved some basketball positions tonight.
Yeah.
I would like to see like men and women on the same agenda so it's easier to keep track and everything
Yeah.
rather than dragging them out 2 or 3 meetings. If we could do like all the sports from the women on one meeting to renew or.
Yes, I think that's been typical, and I think we even had a conversation. But this year, Bart did a different and phased with those sports that you see posted finished earlier, and so there'll be a next wave in April. So, but we can make sure that happens.
I mean, I went back and looked, we're still approving golf and baseball assistant coaches, and we done them 2 months ago. So
And some of those,
it just drags out. Unless you go back and look, we could end up like we did on football a few years ago, 17 assistant coaches because we just approve everybody.
some of those get approved when we find somebody. Like golf would be that example. Some of them, though, that you're right, we could line them up better and more strategically.
Thank you.
So we'll make note of that. Thank you.
Ron?
I thank everybody. I mean, I think our staff does an amazing job, and we was talking about transportation, and I understand that that's quite the juggling act of keeping drivers and routes. I did want to ask Rodney about. I mean, I seen or I think I heard that South Putnam went away from Chartswell, the food vendor, and went back to internally hired, and I didn't know if you had any background on that, or we're not having any problems, I assume, since we're not getting told about any problems. It was nice to hear that they were highlighted in the state magazine.
I haven't had any issues. I don't know about that one. So
okay, and that may be incorrect, but that's what I'd heard. I also want to thank our JAG program for the lack of state support.
Yeah.
Our JAG still has to rank close to the top.
Somewhere near the top.
And I think that's awesome. And I appreciate you calling out the donation to the FFA, but it's pretty easy to donate to a program that has leaders that are as invested as our leaders. So, and that's a reflection of them. So, other than that, thanks. Have a great spring break. And anything we can, I guess I'll end with anything that we can do to help the baseball, softball season and kind of push those contractors to get that done.
Yeah, we've actually had conversations. We'll be spending time over the next 2 weekends.
Okay.
So
thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you.
A little catch up.
Nathan?
Welcome, Randy.
Oh, yeah.
First meeting here. I'm excited to have you here. Thank you. It's going to be fantastic. We look forward to all your insight. I mean, 24 families. So if we get 24 families registered, maybe that increases a little bit for the preschool.
Sure.
You don't know whether those are going to be 3 or 4-year-olds or when they'll enter,
right.
But hypothetically, that could be toward a quarter of a class.
Yep.
That is further ahead than they would have been.
That's correct. Yep.
Yes, it's $135. You can add $1,000 a month in daycare per kid.
Easy.
Relatively easily. We don't want to be there. We're trying to break even. But again, we don't have any outside funding. So thank you to everybody for all the work on that. Enjoy spring break.
Randy?
Thank you for welcoming. Appreciate it. I know I've asked several questions of several people, and everybody's been very forthcoming and giving information. So I really appreciate that. Got to see the Ethics Bowl this weekend. That was really exciting to see them win. So and be a repeat.
Yeah, back to back.
And also, I want to be another person to say thank you for all the research on the preschool. really seemed like a lot of knowledge was there up front to present and fill us in. So
Yeah, we're fortunate that we had multiple people that had that experience in the past, whether it's previous where they were at. So some of that was already in house, but yeah, it took a lot of time, and we wanted to make sure you had the information you needed. We wanted to get it right.
that's all I have.
Hi, welcome, Randy. I'm glad you're here and ready to serve. Good to see you, Jason. And Jess, thank you. It is wonderful about the Epic Bowl. I mean, that's really important. All the other activities that Dustin mentioned, wonderful. All these successes that we're having. I'm very excited about the preschool program. Can't wait for that. And just have a great spring break. Everybody works so hard. So thank you.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Okay.
second.
We have a motion by Ryan, second by Travis to adjourn. All those in favor? Thank you. Carries.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.